We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
This Turning Point conference, the were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and the cigar.
I think it's important that every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against the swastika, against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Joe Rogan just dropped a brutal roast on The View, and no, this ain't your grandma's tea party. Why? Because Charlie Kirk just hit them with a $100 million lawsuit, and now it's pure chaos. Think it's just drama? Nope. This is next level mayhem with Rogan's raw honesty. Stick around. Once Joe fires off, there's no turning back. You've got to hear this.
Charlie Kirk's the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to
So Charlie Kirk throws down the gauntlet and hits The View hosts with a $100 million lawsuit. Yeah, you heard right, not a typo. When your name gets tossed on daytime TV like a used tissue and you've got the cash to call the bluff, you don't sip tea, you go nuclear.
So, I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person, and what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
The lawsuit isn't just a tantrum, it's a message with a multi-million-dollar tag. Don't mess with me. The View acted like it was open season on Charlie Kirk, tossing accusations like Oprah's giveaways. You get accused, you get accused. Everyone gets accused. But when Kirk cries foul, boom, full-blown legal circus.
We begin with a shocking apology just a short time ago from the ladies of The View to Turning Point USA. A war of words broke out after the conservative group was rallying the next generation of voters at its youth summit in Tampa, Florida this weekend. And the liberal panel just couldn't help themselves. The group sent a scathing cease and desist letter after hosts on The View suggested that Turning Point had embraced neo who showed up outside the event.
Now The View hosts, still spinning their daytime drama, probably clutching pearls, pretending it's just a tiny mix-up over some tweet. Except it's not. It's a $100 million misunderstanding. That kind of heat makes reality show feuds look like playground squabbles over crayons.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
Just let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
And then comes Joe Rogan, because of course, the guy who made podcasting a contact sport drops not just 2 cents, but a truckload of sarcasm on the mess. Rogan roasting The View? It's like a grizzly bear giving a TED Talk on honey. Brutal, unexpected, and weirdly satisfying. Rogan's take. Picture the guy known for alien talk and MMA debates casually torching daytime TV royalty for their fake outrage and forced seriousness. It's like a master chef mocking a microwave dinner. Deliciously savage. Why's Rogan's mockery sting so bad? Because he's not playing their game. The View throws shade like it's a soap opera, but won't step in the ring. Rogan? He throws truth haymakers and laughs while they scramble to keep up. And let's face it, The View thrives on loud opinions, but the second real legal firepower shows up, suddenly they're whispering. There's irony in talking tough, then folding when it counts. Rogan sees it. He's calling it out. He's pointing at how they love calling others out, while dodging accountability like it's an Olympic event.
Welcome back. You know, in Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk isn't just waving his lawsuit like a trophy. He's making a statement about media accountability in an age where anyone thinks they can smear whoever they want on national TV. And that's where it gets juicy. The View may act like untouchable divas, but Kirk's lawsuit, it's a legal mic drop. Loud, bold, and pricey. It's media versus money versus madness. On one side, TV hosts fueled by outrage, thinking lawsuits are just background static. On the other, a conservative heavyweight with deep pockets saying, not today, here's 100 million reasons why. Joe Rogan's mockery, it's the magnifying glass, highlighting just how absurd it all looks from the outside. These hosts preach from a moral high ground, until someone pushes back. Then suddenly, it's all squirming in silence. Rogan's humor slices right through, reminding us that the high ground might not be so high when it's cluttered with lawsuits. This isn't just a personality clash, it's the media landscape now. Lawsuits as weapons, outrage as currency, and everyone tuned in for the next scandal.
The culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stopped looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions, whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, whatever it is, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right, and now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing, and I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side, and if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do, and no one's critically thinking about this.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge. And on that bridge, they'll see RFK. They'll see Elon Musk.
The View hosts are stuck in the crossfire, where their old playbook, shout first, dodge consequences later, is now being rewritten by legal papers and looming court dates. And if the $100 million lawsuit wasn't enough to shake their set, Rogan's takedown is salt in a wound they didn't even know was there. His wit is razor sharp, his tone unapologetic, and it exposes just how often The View's serious talk veers into parody, especially when someone actually pushes back. They've built their platform on performative outrage, hand-picking targets while staying squeaky clean. Until now. Kirk's legal hammer and Rogan's public roast shine a harsh light on that selective justice routine. Great for ratings, brutal for bank accounts. Viewers, they're glued to this spectacle, watching a daytime meltdown with a multi-million-dollar price tag and a podcast host as the unexpected referee. It's messy, it's wild, and impossible to ignore. The View's silence in the face of Rogan's viral roast says it all. No bold comeback, no dramatic defense, just tension brewing off camera. Because yelling on live TV is easy, until a lawsuit lands and Joe Rogan turns the heat way up.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in, you know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her, and you know they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show.
This lawsuit isn't just some midday headline to skim while sipping your third coffee. No, this spectacle is a magnifying glass over the wild jungle of media polarization, where insults are grenades and lawsuits are missiles. Charlie Kirk versus The View? It's not happening in a vacuum. It's center stage in a country so divided it feels like America. The Feud Edition. Today, lawsuits aren't just legal tools. They're political weapons, sharper than any tweet storm. Forget arguing over parking spaces, and now you drop a $100 million bomb when someone calls you out on TV. It's not just retaliation, it's a power move. Proof that money talks way louder than ratings. Can't win the debate on air. Drag it into court. Let the lawyers throw punches while the cameras roll. This lawsuit is the blueprint for a new kind of battle, where the courtroom is the arena and media feuds are million-dollar gladiator games. Only the wealthiest survive. Media polarization fuels it all. On one side, outlets like The View, masters of outrage theater, where the script always blames the other side.
Megan, I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show. If the CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
X.
X.
Okay.
Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
On the other side, you've got conservatives like Charlie Kirk turning outrage into a battle cry, rallying their base with viral moments, and now lawsuits. This isn't just a disagreement, it's a full-blown war for public influence, with the grace of a wrecking ball in a glass factory. It's legal, thriller meets reality TV meets circus sideshow. News feels like theater, and theater pretends it's news. 1 minute, it's serious debate. Next, you're hearing about a lawsuit that sounds like a blockbuster plot twist. The lines blur. Are you supposed to be outraged, entertained, or just grab popcorn and watch the chaos unfold? And here's the wild part. The average viewer is stuck trying to make sense of it all. What's real? What's scripted? The lawsuit, the mockery, the legal grandstanding. It's all part of the spectacle. The View's courtroom spiral and Rogan's brutal roast aren't random. They're just the latest episodes in a soap opera called Politics, Media, and Money.
Her disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here, because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give birth.
So what's next in this wild saga? Anything goes, and probably will. Maybe The View hosts quietly settle because nothing screams damage control like cutting a fat check to make it vanish. Or maybe it spirals into a full-blown courtroom showdown, where every cringy email, every shady tweet, every behind-the-scenes rant gets dragged into the spotlight. Imagine the discovery phase. A flood of juicy receipts pouring out faster than you can say ratings boost. If it hits court, forget nuance. This won't be about law, it'll be theater. Each side will treat the courtroom like a new set packed with sound bites, leaks, and spin. Sure, The View might tighten up, polish their talking points, maybe tone down the theatrics. But let's be real, drama is the brand. This lawsuit, just their latest plot twist, and social media, it'll go wild. Memes, tweets, gotcha clips recycled on loop. Daytime TV just went nuclear, and no one's letting it fade. Then there's Joe Rogan, the podcast king who turns any topic into a viral inferno. His roast, not a one-time hit. It's a flare shot into the sky, warning that this feud isn't just fluff, it's a battle, and it's only heating up.
Yeah, did you watch the episode when Tulsi Gabbard got on to defend herself and Joy Behar starts panicking and going over her notes while Tulsi's refuting everything that she said?
Yeah, I mean, Joy Behar, like, again, these people have dementia. These are people who, like, should not be allowed out of the house. They have a national platform. I mean, it is crazy. They have no idea. These people have never read, like, a book.
And there's versions of it.
This lawsuit is the perfect storm. Chaotic, unpredictable, and tailor-made for a media world driven by social media, outrage, and influencer clout. The old rules? Gone. A single tweet sparks a feud. A podcast clip turns into a headline. And a lawsuit becomes a meme. No one knows where this is heading. But one thing's clear, it won't be boring. This real-life soap opera has it all. Mess, money, mockery, and millions are watching. Every twist will be dissected, memed, and turned into digital popcorn. The View's saga isn't just about cash. It's a front-row seat to modern media warfare, where headlines blur with punchlines, and news feels more like late-night satire. One thing's certain, no one's walking away quietly. Joe Rogan's mic is still hot. Charlie Kirk's lawyers are just getting started. And the next act, it'll be louder, messier, and even more brutal. The real kicker, how fast the tables turn. One day you're the host. Next day, you're getting dragged on a podcast between elk hunting and UFO talk. Karma doesn't just knock, it roasts. So what does it all mean for daytime TV? Maybe a wake-up call. A reminder that shade, drama, and loose accusations aren't always free. Kirk's lawsuit, that's a $100 million warning. And Rogan's roast, a playbook for media outsiders taking on the so-called insiders. No fluff, no filters, just savage truth. In the end, this isn't just drama. It's a media reckoning. One conservative powerhouse, one roasting machine, and a panel of daytime divas learning the hard way that real accountability doesn't come with applause. It comes with consequences. So next time The View throws shade, they'd better remember. Kirk's lawsuit and Rogan's roast turned daytime drama into serious business. Because in this new battlefield, the sharpest wit and the deepest pockets win the war. And this time, The View got burned.